Hey everybody, what's going on? This is your boy Pablo, aka Grandma's favorite grandson, aka the bearded wonder, aka Pod Boss, aka the Pod's gift. And I am here to give you another wonderful episode of Toxicology Report, Roll to 100, sponsored by Fat Flash Clothing. You know, get your Fat Flash Clothing whenever you can. You know, soft, comfortable, got all sizes, all colors, all styles. And as always, my man, my mellow, sir. Introduce yourself with that ugly hat on.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Best Friend, a.k.a. The Colonizer, a.k.a. The Great White Hype, a.k.a. White Meat. It's what's for dinner.
All right. And as you all can see, we have a guest, a white guest. This
Damn.
White. No, I'm trying to think. Have we ever had a white guest on here?
Nope. Because you're racist.
We had a quarter white guest.
You're racist.
I'm a trendsetter. I'm here to break through.
You are. You are the Jackie Robinson of the Toxicology Report. Yeah. Because I don't know, Della. No, we've never had a white guest. Good job, sir. Let everybody know who you are.
My name is JC, aka Fat Lance Armstrong, aka Old One Nut, and
One Nut.
I like the hat. That's a good hat. Yellow's a good color.
Oh, One Nut.
One Nut, baby.
That's what happens when you're a survivor, sir.
So you really have just one nut, huh?
Yeah, they came for it.
See what happens when you
I learned listen, man. I learned the hard way. What happens when you say I'd give my left nut for blank? Don't say it. It's not as cool when they come to collect, man.
Wow.
On all my jerseys that I have here that I wear with my gaming community, I have that on there, and it gets a lot of attention. It gets some pretty good reactions from people. It's pretty funny.
I can imagine. So, best friend, how was your week?
It was good. Not too bad so far. It's only midweek, so hopefully the rest of the week goes smooth.
Yeah, I ain't see you in. Yeah, we didn't record after. I ain't seen you in 2 weeks. So what you been up to?
I saw you Sunday, man.
Did you?
I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Wow.
You did.
Only a couple of days ago.
You know why? Because you had a trash take, so I just blocked it out.
That's terrible. Yeah. That's why you have no friends now. You and One Nut over here, single.
Hey, Old One Nut.
Old One Nut.
Put some respect on the name. Come on, man.
So okay, JC, let me ask you this question. Okay?
Sure, hit me.
Since it's October, if you can name 5 horror franchises and put them in order as your top 5, who is number 1?
Like horror movies?
Yeah, the entire franchise, though. Just the franchise, not just one movie.
Well, I'll tell you this: I'm a coward. I hate scary movies.
Okay,
but let's see. Oh God.
So I mean, he's a casual fan. Let's see what he says.
So I'm gonna just give you 5. I'm not gonna rank them because I've watched a bunch of the Saw movies.
Okay.
The Friday the 13th movies. You know, gotta love the dude with the ski mask. Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh come on, they're classic. Freddy Krueger, come on, man. He's got the weird. He's
hating because I put him at number 1.
Wow. What are the movies with the crazy little doll? The one that looked like John Gruden. Chucky. Yeah, you got
John Gruden.
And then I don't know if they count as horror movies. They freaked me out when I was a kid. The Gremlins movies. Those little bastards are terrifying.
I didn't even think about them.
Gremlins is the second greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, obviously Die Hard's the first one.
Obviously Die Hard's the first.
So. Yeah. There you go. But I'm also because I can't really think of a franchise. I am actually a pretty big fan of zombie movies.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Scratch the Chucky movies. I'll put the Days Later, 21 Days and 21.
Okay. There you go.
Those are good movies. I like those.
Mm-hmm. I like it. You see how you put Fred at number 3, sir?
Yeah,
Hey, I did say I wasn't going to rank them.
See?
But you helped my arguments. I heard what you said, but you helped my argument when you put it.
It's your show. It's your rules. That's fine. I'll allow it.
He always bends the rules.
Not always.
Fit his argument.
So, we're all football fans.
Are we?
Yeah, I'm still a fan.
You back on this side?
I'm still no. I was a fan the entire boycott. I just didn't like how they did them. That's all. JC has rougher years than us. You know, it's okay.
I'm a Broncos fan. I am.
Yes, he is.
We paid for Super Bowl with Peyton Manning with 8 years of pain.
Yep. That was the.
That's what happens when you sell your soul. You gotta.
Yeah, that was the deal.
Yeah, man. But what's up, Russell? Russell Wilson's having an all right year. There's hope. There's hope.
Russell Wilson's trash.
There's nobody catching the ball.
Russell Wilson's got better stats than Pat Mahomes right now.
Yeah, it's just nobody catching the ball, bro.
Well, yeah, or they fumble
and they can't get into the end zone. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's been throwing. He's actually had his deep ball's been pretty nice this year.
Yeah, like literally, they're going from goal line to goal line, just not going across the goal line.
Bro, you gave up 70 points.
That wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he couldn't go out there.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I was the most upset about that game was I knew that was going to happen, and I thought about it. I could have put I was going to put $200 on the Dolphins, putting up at least 60.
Yeah,
could have made money, man.
Yeah, they are something else. So I have a video.
Okay.
For these fans of the footballs.
Another non-sexual turnoff for me. I'm gonna be honest. If you're a Cowboys fan, that lets me know you like losers. That lets me know that you always going to bring up old shit. You always going to talk about what you used to do, how fine you used to be. You always reliving your high school and college days. That's when you peaked. You ain't done nothing in the last 20-something years. Yeah. Cowboys fan. If she's a Cowboys fan, chances are she doesn't live in the present. She lives in the past, and she's delusional. She's delusional. Never thinks she's the problem. It's always everybody else. And always got excuses. Oh, man, the excuses. Oh, my God. Excuses. Yeah. So, yeah, non-sexual turnoff, Cowboys fans.
Bro, you gotta send that to me in text message.
Yeah, there's a couple people I gotta send that to. But
yep.
I will give Cowboys fans this. While you could say they're delusional, you could also argue that they're optimistic. Because every year, this is our year.
Yeah.
They're committed.
Every year. Every single year is our year.
Sure. Well, hey, every year we have a new quarterback, and I think it's our year. So, I mean, they sold me on Case Keenum, so whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why you believed in them. That was insane.
Desperation.
Yeah. Well, y'all could have just signed, the kid with the afro. Y'all been all right, but
Man, nobody wants that bum. He's worse than the quarterback they got right now.
There you go.
You think he's better than Russell Westbrook or Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
I've always thought that.
Today, like right now.
Right now.
Without
playing for 7 years. Without playing for 7 years, yes.
Damn.
You're starting to sound like a Cowboys fan there, buddy.
No. I always even when they was going head to head back then, it was heads and shoulders above them. Like, as you can see,
that's not fair. Russell Wilson's short. You can't say that.
Cap is 6'4", so yeah, he's gonna be head and shoulders above him anyway. But but no, I always thought.
I'm sure Russell Wilson's a better father too.
Oh my God,
bro, he just became a dad, bro. Like, leave Cap alone, bro.
I forget it. Honestly, I just kind of forget. I forget about him, and then every year he always sends something to come back to go. Oh yeah,
I keep him alive. I definitely keep him alive.
Always begging to get back in the league.
I saw
he didn't beg.
He The Rock met with him. I saw he was trying to get him to come to the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd be good for the X. That'd be great for the XFL.
The XFL is dying. They need something,
bro.
So.
Aren't they merging with the other one?
Yeah, he's trying to buy. I forgot what it's called. Whatever league, but how they gonna pay him? Them guys at the XFL are making like $5,000 and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's the problem.
But he's humbling himself. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not listening to him.
I'm hearing you. So if he goes to the XFL and he's willing to take $5,000 or free just to get himself out there, humble himself to show what he can do, then I'll respect him some. But if he turns that down, he doesn't want to play football.
He did. He didn't want it.
He did.
So he doesn't want to play football.
Yes, he does. He said put him on the practice squad for the Jets.
Bro, I'm not signing you for whatever amount, the league minimum for a veteran to put you on there and not know what you can do.
I think the veteran league minimum is $3 million.
No, it's less than that.
Is it? Oh, see, it's less than that.
Bro, I'd be out there running up score. I'd be putting 70 up in the XFL right now to try to prove a point.
Just to prove a point?
Yep.
I mean, he's not wrong. That would be a good way to show that you still got it.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Good players dunk on bad players.
You need film, and you can't go to film and like throw balls to high school kids all day long. You got to get out there with some ex-pros and whatever, and then try to do something. He would have been with the Ravens if he didn't let his bum-ass girlfriend mess that up. Or
you can go on the practice squad and show them that you can really do something.
Bro, who's giving out $3 million to see if you can do something?
True.
I can watch your highlights from your last season at the 49ers when you went like 2-14 or whatever it was.
With a broke foot.
Shit.
With a broke foot.
2-14 still sucked ass.
Wow. If Lamar had a broke foot, you'd be like, he had a broke foot.
He got a broke foot, and I still talk to him like he's a piece of shit.
Right, but no, you talk to him like that. But if somebody else says something, you're like, well, Lamar had a broke foot. What are you supposed to do?
I wouldn't defend Lamar for anything.
Anyway, the league minimum for a 10-year vet, Cap don't even fall in that category because he ain't played a whole 10 years. But a 10-year vet, the league minimum is 1.075.
That's what we like to call the Joe Flacco contract.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to bring Joe Flacco off the streets before they ever bring Cap.
Yeah, and then the 3-year rookie minimum is less than that. So yeah, he can do $900,000 a year. He's fine with that. He got endorsements.
Bro, he got like okay with $900,000 a year. Dude hasn't worked in 7 years. I'd be like, all right.
Bro, he got like $100-some million. He don't need the money. He should be.
He'll be the highest paid practice squad player in history.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you got $100-some million. Go do XFL for free just to get your name out there and show what you can do. You
will go to a job and work for free.
If I had $100-some million and I was trying to get back into what I really love doing, absolutely.
I mean, I interned for free.
It's not like he needs the money. Come on.
So you're gonna be an intern.
If that's what it took to get to where I needed to be, and I knew. Now look, if I'm as good as I say I am, and he thinks he's God's gift to
he doesn't think he's God's gift to anything.
So he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in the XFL long. He's only going to be there 2 or 3 weeks the way he thinks he is. So if you go to XFL, you go.
He has a contract. He will be stuck there for the entire season. Then what if somebody who don't like him hurts him? Then
you don't think he's? It's just like broadcasting. When they retire, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do broadcasting. I'm gonna put this stipulation in. Unless somebody needs me to come out of retirement to play, then I can cut this contract and go." And they're like, "Okay, cool."
The Rock ain't gonna do that. The Rock is not letting that go. You know how much? You know how many people alone will just watch it because Colin's there. There's gonna be people who's gonna be cheering for him. So there's gonna be the people who are gonna watch him fail.
So if you guys play,
money.
What's their season for XFL? It's not like 16.
It's not 16 games.
Yeah. So 10 weeks you got to play, And then you could get a chance to get a lot more film and a lot more money.
Or you get an overzealous defensive tackle that want to clip him, and he got a bad knee for the rest of his life, and he's done.
I mean, that could happen on the practice squad too. Training camp fishes. People get hurt all the time.
It could happen at his house, chasing a dog.
Terrell Suggs blew his ACL playing basketball.
Allegedly.
See, I can't talk with two Caucasian men on here. This is crazy.
I'm not. What am I doing?
This is never going to happen again. You're the last white guy on the show ever again, sir.
Damn, you done ruined it for everybody.
Sure. That's what I'm here to do.
I won't be here next week because he said you're the last one on, so I can't come back.
Yep, you can't. He can't come back either. It's gonna just be me next week.
Then got me fired.
We'll make our own show where you can talk about.
That's right.
The two white guys. That's what's gonna name the show.
We'll complain about Sprite being spicy and talk about how uncomfortable Colin Kaepernick makes us.
Yep, exactly.
It's two white guys and old one ball.
Three balls. The 3 Ball podcast.
3 Ball podcast.
Call him Q ball over there.
Oh, my
oh man. So this week,
2 in the pink, 1 in the sack.
Hey yo.
Sir, introduce the topic, sir. Introduce the topic, please.
Me? I ain't got no topic.
No, the one we're going to talk about. Introduce it.
Oh, you want me to talk about that topic? I don't know.
Yes.
So, the topic he would like me to present to my fellow Americans
Not in. Oh Lord, not my.
Well, let him. He got a whiter voice than I do. Let him.
Go ahead, sir. Just keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So, me and Bobby. We'll call him Bobby.
Oh,
It could be Bobby. It's me and Bobby right now. It's our show.
no. Both of y'all have really white names. Okay, that's the crazy part. Okay?
It's racist.
It is, but that's what it is.
This is exactly why our topic about mental health and mental awareness and stuff like that is needed, because people like you bully people and you bring us down and you're a racist.
Mm-hmm.
What's so white about John? There's
What?
John. There's
The way you hear how you said that,
John.
John.
Yeah, like John F. Kennedy, right?
Uh-huh.
John Mayer.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
See,
There you go.
that's white.
Johnny
people.
Knoxville.
White folks.
Ooh, that's a good John. I like him. He's
Johnny
fun.
Depp.
Yeah, there's another one. He likes shit in his bed. I'm sure that's a mental health issue right there.
You didn't tell me you guys kink shame on this show. I wouldn't have agreed to come on.
Finish introducing, sir.
No, so we're going to talk about mental health, mental awareness, depression, and everything that goes along with that. What that could look like, what that means.
From the men's side.
From the men's side of it, because nobody out there really gives a shit about men and their feelings and what they go through on a daily basis. So
Yeah, we're trained to be tough.
I agree.
So to show emotion is a sign of weakness, especially in the white neighborhoods.
I agree, and actually, I think while there is still the stereotype of man must be strong, I do think that bit by bit there is progress, but it's definitely still probably way overlooked.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. I mean, it's the human condition, right? Nobody's perfect.
But what you just said there, though, like, why is that acceptable? It is what it is.
Because that's just how it is.
It's a good point. Quite frankly, I always say it is if I ever became a president of the world, something I would do is I'd make it mandatory for people to see everybody to have access to mental health care, like at least a therapist once a month. I think everybody needs. I mean, and if you don't want to use it, you don't want to use it, right? Everybody has their own way of doing things, right? Some people, right? Like I have a therapist. I had an appointment today. I canceled it because didn't after my day at work. I didn't want to talk to another person. I wanted to go home and lay down. But some do that. I know that people that they hike. They go out and they hike, and that's how they vent their frustrations out. I also use like art. right? Like there's plenty of ways to do it. There's plenty of ways to deal with it, but it is yeah, I think it is, especially when there's a lot of things. It's really easy to click share on Facebook, like support men's health, da 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 da. But then when you have you see somebody trying to express how they feel, and you do get overlooked sometimes, unless it's something. I've been fortunate, well, not fortunate, but with everything that I experienced in the last year, I had a lot more of a spotlight on me because everybody knew I was sick and what I was going through. And so obviously people were a lot more interested in how I was feeling. But I'll say it's kind of it's not funny, but it's kind of funny once the eyebrows return, the hair comes back, and then it's just yeet, get back out there.
Yeah, I was kind of upset I didn't get my my drunk phone call this year.
I didn't drink.
I know. I was kind of mad about that.
How you mad the man didn't drink?
No, because every year because his birthday is on the 4th of July, so every year I get a drunk phone call from him.
I used to every year. It's usually a tradition, or I will I'll go get pretty tore up.
Yeah,
and it's a tell of when I've probably had too much is when I start calling people.
And he always tells me to come outside to Bel Air at midnight.
Yeah, because you should, because it's a good time. And there's always something. It's one of those things where it's like no matter what happens, there's always a story. This year, I actually I saved it. I waited until at the end of July because I did a fundraiser with a bar, and I went out and got tore up then. But even then, it wasn't like years before. Getting too old for that.
Yeah. I get it. See, best friend, therapy.
Well,
everybody.
You can't force it on people, right? The big. I will tell you this: the biggest thing, because I've seen a lot with people because I'm starting to get to the point where people I know have kids and stuff like that, and they talk about making their kids to go to therapy. Or I know people whose parents made them to go to therapy, and if you don't want it, it's useless.
Yeah,
right. But some people don't need it. Some people can vent how they can either cope or deal with whatever they've got going on their own way. So I'm never gonna see therapy like because if you don't want to go, if you don't think it was you, or if you're not comfortable with it, don't go. But find something to take care of yourself. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and also if you don't go to therapy, well, if you don't pay somebody to be a therapist, you can have a therapist just in your everyday life. There's always that one person that you can just vent to, get everything off your chest.
I've been very fortunate. I've got a lot of great friends that whenever I'm not feeling great, I can talk to them about that. So it's but yeah, I mean, I will say though, having somebody who's not invested in your life at all, where you can say, I think this person's really bothering me, da 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 da, and they're not going to go, and you know what I mean? Like, this person's not going to go and run their mouth because they're legally not allowed to.
Right, exactly. You're fortunate because you're from that next generation. Me and best friend, we come from that don't ask, don't tell generation. If something's bothering us, usually a pint will take care of it. You know what I mean? Like this, or go to somebody's house and have a good little tussle in the sack, and we'll be all right. But I like that people our age now are going to therapy more. They are going to see help. They're going to talk. They're speaking out more. Like even best friend. Like at one point, best friend wouldn't express himself, but we've had conversations recently that he's starting to see it's better to let it out than keeping it in.
There's really no shame, right?
Yeah, not at all.
Because it doesn't always have to be like a call for like I need help or whatever like that. Sometimes it's just I don't like this or whatever. Like I think it's good, and I think you're right. I think a lot of people, especially people I've noticed who are a little bit older than me, that they are becoming more comfortable with it.
Well, I think
good man.
I think to your point, earlier is when you talked about the insurance part. I think a lot of people don't go because they can't afford it. Like, even though you may have some type of health insurance through work, some of that doesn't come out to be cheap for some people. And some people just, I don't even say some, I would say 75, 80% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. How are they going to afford to put out another $60 to $100, $200, whatever it is, a month on one session and then worry about themselves? You can't worry about yourself in today's society. You got to worry about them bills.
Yeah.
That's a whole other can of worms, you know.
Yeah.
It's just it's
some jobs are trying to do better with that. But yeah, even with me, I think my copay is $10. So a month's worth of sessions, that's $40. You know, like that's gas. You know, like now do I want to talk to somebody and, you know, get my feelings off my chest, or do I want to put gas in my car so I can make it to work? You know what I mean? Like,
so for you, that's $40 a month, but like that's some good insurance right there.
Yeah. Shout out to the county. Always taking care. Well, not always, but they take care of the mental health tip.
I mean, there is a lot of services that do stuff for free or for cheap. You don't. I mean, they're not clinical psychiatrists or whatever like that, but there's resources. And
BetterHelp is good.
I see. Yeah, BetterHelp's.
And you don't gotta talk to anybody. You can just text.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like it's just like you're texting me, best friend. You literally just texting like, "Hey, this is what I'm going through." And a therapist will help you out on the other side.
So how do they get paid?
I think it's the subscription, but it's it's not like copay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
They're like, hey, sorry, before we answer this text message, we must have you put in your credit card information and pay us X amount of dollars.
Yeah, it's definitely something, because I know people who do the sponsors, they have promo codes and you can use and get discounts on it. So it's definitely subscription based.
Yeah, so they make, and like I said, I don't know if and maybe this is me just talking out of my ass because I'm not 100% sure, but like you would assume that they're probably not doctors, right? It may be people who have gone through training or whatever, but quite frankly, now you don't always have to be a doctor to listen to somebody. You know, at the end of the day, an anonymous or a random person who's not directly involved in your life, like I said, it's easier to talk to them sometimes. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to deal with the stranger, but sometimes it's like, I can tell you whatever's going on in my head and you're not going to judge me. So and the texting, I didn't even know you could text them. That's really good, because if you have anxiety with strangers, stuff like that, you don't even have to look at them. So but it's a big thing. And you know, you see a lot of people who, especially like famous, and this is just keeping on with the thing, tell me to stop talking, we need to, but like a lot of really happy, outgoing people are the ones who struggle a lot too.
Yeah.
Like when Robin Williams died, you know what I mean? It caught the whole thing. So
I read up something on that earlier. So he had like a severe case of, basically Bruce Willis has a much more severe case of the same exact thing that Robin Williams had. It's like almost like a Alzheimer's type thing, where dementia. Yeah. Robin Williams knew he had it or whatever, and that's part of the reason. Yeah. And now Bruce Willis has he has such a deeper, worse case of it now, which they're saying that they're not expecting him to make it much longer at this point. But like you say,
those dementia and Alzheimer's things are nasty, man. Yeah. Like, Georgia, I'm sure you've seen me post it. Like, that's what the shirt is, right? Like, I do a lot of fundraising for the Alzheimer's Association because it runs in my bloodline. It's something that
mine too.
And you know, if we're talking about mental health, you know what I mean? Like, I live my life knowing that there's a good chance I'm not going to remember half this stuff.
Yep.
Like, but yeah, I mean, with the Robin Williams and Bruce Willis thing, it's crazy. Like, you see these people and they're successful and they're happy, but you know what I mean? They struggle. They're just like the rest of us.
So BetterHelp subscription base, ranges from $60 to $90 a week.
That's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I withdraw my support of Better Health. That's really go to a doctor, bro. Like,
And that's to my point. When I went one time, and the place was filthy. The chair looked like somebody pissed in it. Like there's writing all on the wall. And I told the lady flat out, I'm like, do you guys really care about mental health, or are you just here for a paycheck? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, look at this. The books you got are dusty and dirty. They haven't been touched. The room's dirty. Like, how am I supposed to come in here and feel good when I come in here and be like, man, this place is filthy? Like, you only care about the money at that point to me.
you know what you need? You need one of a Bel Air therapist.
Yeah.
Because they are
nice.
Bel Air, Westminster. Mine's out Westminster, so
I'm in Westminster all the time.
Yeah, she's very good. So, and fun fact, from my time working at Cat Goose Mouse, that's why I'm in therapy now, because of the vice president that still works there. So
that Cat Goose Mouse, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, so therapy's not for everybody. Therapy, you definitely have to shop around. You can't just
hold on. You can't say therapy in the sense of going to see a psychiatrist, because everybody has their own therapy in a sense. The word therapy is subjective. So, know, therapy to them might be a cat, a dog, or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever your therapy is for you, not seeing a human therapist.
So to seeing a therapist is not for everybody.
Right.
That's better?
I'm just making the way. You can't
I'm asking
generalize.
Does that sound
can't generalize therapy.
I don't like how you're talking to me.
You
get real brave when other white folks around, sir. That's crazy.
That is two of us and one of you this time. Now, what's going on?
You usually the minority in the room. Now I don't like this.
Bring it back.
I'm an enabler.
But seeing a therapist is not for everybody, and you can't dismiss it after seeing one therapist. You got to shop around. You don't just go to one supermarket, and then be like, oh, the food's bad here, I'm not going to the supermarket ever again. You go and find another supermarket that has what you need.
You just go to Walmart like the rest of us poor people.
It took, mine, I think it was 3 or 4 tries.
Yeah.
Where I found somebody that I clicked with. And more importantly, that my insurance took.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 1, 2. Yeah, it was 3 for me. One, she was completely booked because it was right when the pandemic started and they weren't taking anybody. And then the other one, my insurance didn't take, but I didn't like the vibe I was getting from her. So, but yeah, this one here, I got a nice one. I canceled my appointment today as well because we had a meeting at the same exact time and I needed to be at that meeting, but we rescheduled. She know what it is. I had some stats. Got some stats, some research I did a little bit before.
You going to tell us that Colin Kaepernick had 2 wins in his last season?
Yep, with a broke foot, and he almost went to the Super Bowl with a broke hand and a broke foot. But yeah, so 9% of men in the United States have daily feelings of depression and anxiety.
9?
Only 9?
Only 9? That can't be right. That can't be right.
I'm just telling you what the numbers
Bro, 9% of 3 billion. Well, how many men's on this planet?
No, United States, sir.
Okay.
Not just
how many men's in the United States then?
Google it. Your phone's right there. You Google how many people in the United States.
You yell at me for getting on my phone all the time.
I'm gonna we'll rephrase it. 9% admit.
There you go.
Right. There you go. I buy that.
No, because it's you sit down. I can sit down with my friend groups and almost every single person,
Mhm.
that has something. They may not admit it, and when I say has something, it could just be from generalizing.
Herpes.
Yeah, everybody has a diagnosis of some sort. So
Yeah, nobody. That's the thing, right? Like that's kind of the funny thing is there's this expectation that everybody's perfect, but literally nobody is. Like
nobody.
So
Everybody-
here's the stat. So 1 out of 4 men have herpes. So either the guy that's missing from this show or one of us. All I'm saying.
And it's usually a Caucasian man, so it narrows it down to the two.
high five.
1 in 3 men admit to taking medication for some type of feeling that they have walking daily.
Now that's a lot.
33%. I would still think it should be more than that.
Yeah.
I would say 2 in 3 men.
Take medication.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 in 4 men speak to a therapist.
I can
That
see
sounds
that.
right.
30% of men in the United States admit to suffering a period of depression. Not saying it's long lasting, but they had a period of depression in their lifetime.
How many was that?
30%.
30%.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
So,
How so?
there's like I said, remember it's that important to admit word.
Yeah.
Yeah, they admit words. So I'm just saying that number should be high because, and again, so Johnny doesn't know this. But
Who
I
is
used to
Johnny?
think, just Johnny right there. Big,
Okay,
big,
Mikey.
Big J. Big
Okay,
J right there.
Mikey.
Ooh, big
Mikey
J.
and Johnny.
All right.
Yeah.
So I used to think people with depression were weak. I used to
You
think that like they were mentally soft and they just didn't know how to control their emotions in their body. And they were just always looking for an excuse or a scapegoat to just be like, oh, I can't do it, I'm depressed, whatever. I used to be like, man, suck that shit up and like just fucking move on.
Yeah,
But
no, we
then
had those conversations.
then I feel like I got some depression. I'm like, this shit ain't easy. This ain't like depression and anxiety is not easy. Like I used to think like, oh, anxiety, you just control it and you just tell your body you're not going to be nervous right now. You're not going to do this. And then when I got it, I was like, man, this is some real shit. This isn't like the stuff that I thought it was. Like,
Well,
so I had to.
It's you can't. I honestly like I can't. You can't hold those feelings really against you because like I think that's how everybody feels until they're like, oh my god. And a lot of the times I think people don't even realize it. Like something my therapist has told me is a lot of the times what people categorize as being lazy is like it could be ADHD, it could be depression. You know what I mean? Like, and that just snowballs. But I mean, but no, I mean, I'm not surprised. Number one, I'm not surprised you felt that way because number one, we're men, and that's that's the expectation that's been put on us by the world. And if you haven't been in the shoes, you don't. It's easy to project it. That's how it's been. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's been around so long.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you feel about the people nowadays who complain and say, why do we have to put a label on everything? Why does everything have to be ADHD, depression, anxiety? Why can't it just be?
So I think there's two sides to that coin. I think that if I'm being honest, like I'm like, man, these people just looking for a reason to get a paycheck, because so I know family that would label their kids early on because they knew that they would get a paycheck for them every month because they were some type of ADHD disability, whatever.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, look, we're just, the rude, ignorant side of me would say, oh, well, we're just doing that to get a paycheck. But then the other side thinks that we should label things like that because we need to know the truth. Like we need to really know how much more is ADHD, how much more is depression, how much more is this. We don't want to just say, oh, it's just a typical boy and he'll come out of it, whatever. Like you should really get some type of diagnosis and accurate. And now I think that's the key thing is accurate because a lot of times when you go somewhere, they'll just be like, I've been to the doctors before for like heartburn and they're like, here, take this depression medicine. I'm like, bro, I came here for fucking heartburn. Like I hurt my arm and you're giving me depression medicine.
But heartburn is a sign though.
But it's just one of those things. I feel like
Yeah.
people are always just trying to hand out some type of medication.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Because
they
again,
want to medicate. Yeah, they don't want
you
to.
know,
They don't
and
want to find a cure for
most
it.
doctors get kickbacks off what they give out. So you come in there because you got heartburn. They're like, hey, take this depression medicine, and they get paid $100 off every script they write, and they don't care if you got depression or not because they just filled their pockets for the day.
And those meds are wild. Like I took because I definitely have ADHD, and I took I don't even know what it's called, whatever the popular one is anymore. But I took it. It made me crazy. I put a hole in my wall at work. This is the job I had before CGM, or whatever.
We're getting sued now.
Yeah, whatever. But I was crazy, man. Like, I stopped taking it immediately because like I would just get so angry for no reason, and like they do like those medicines make, and then the depression medicines.
Yeah.
I've had my. We all have our struggles, but man, when I started taking those depression medicines, the things I've started saying, and like it was wild. Like,
So I'll tell you right now, I'm on a nerve medicine for nerve, my nerve, actual nerve, not my nerve. And like again, the nerve problem going down my back, my leg, everything like that, causing whatever problems it's causing. And one of the side effects of the medicine may cause suicidal thoughts. It says if you start having dark thoughts and this and that or whatever, please see your doctor right away. So I'm trying to get rid of a nerve problem.
Yeah.
And you're putting me in a deeper state of something else to where it says you cannot just stop taking this medicine because if you stop, it can cause issues. You got to wean off with all these things. So in my whole life, I never took anything, but the nerve problem has gotten so bad to where finally after they prescribed me 10 different medicines, I never took any of them. And then finally I was like, I got to do something. So I'm going to try this and just see what it does. And if I start feeling anything, I'm just done.
Yeah.
But again, you watch these commercials and it says, you go to the doctors for heartburn, they give you a Prilosec or whatever it is for heartburn. They say may cause anal bleeding, may cause miscarriage, may cause this. I'm like, bro, you're just going for heartburn, and now you're telling me that my asshole might be bleeding.
Yeah, it's the side effects. It's always the side effects.
Side effects are wild. Like when I went through chemo last year, the things they were telling me that these drugs might do are wild. Like they could cause nerve damage in your fingers. They could, the one could destroy my lungs. So I had to go and do a breath test to make sure my lungs still work. One of them, one of their side effects was leukemia. And I was like, great. So we're gonna treat my cancer with cancer. Amazing. But it's wild. But it's just
but
I mean it's the downside to for the 99% effectiveness, there's that 1%, and that's
so they don't really know, they have to test, so just like Viagra, that was blood pressure medicine, you know what I mean, and then the side effect was a long erection. They're like, oh, we got money here, so they don't really
let's
know.
switch it from this to that.
Let's talk about a rebrand.
Yeah, right. So and like y'all was saying, I used to take depression medicine in middle school, and right early high school years, and I was a zombie. I literally no emotion. Literally I would just stare into space. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I was very monotone. So we stopped taking it, and I started playing sports, and then I met this fool here with the crazy hat.
What's with the hat? Yellow's a good color.
He's a hater, man. Look at him.
Because he comes in here with these bright ass hats every week. Okay,
just because Cap's been out of the NFL for 7 years doesn't mean you can take it out on the hat, man.
He wears a cap. See, I think he's playing with my emotions. Okay, he knows that I love Cap.
His anxiety thinks that my cap is about his cap.
See. His cap get more TV time than my cap. I don't like it.
You should just be grateful that you can wear caps. You don't have a big watermelon head
I can't wear caps.
I can't wear caps. It doesn't exist. Caps don't exist
at all.
If Cap had as many viewers as we had, maybe he'd get some playing time.
You're right. We should ask Cap to come on here.
Yeah. Bring them on.
You let me know. Like
I'm actually friends with one of his friends, so I'll see. I'll see what I can do.
That's cool. My best friend's cousins with Brian Westbrook played for the Eagles. Like we all have.
Okay. Hey, you should hook us up, man. We can get an interview. Best friend will talk his Raven talk to him and see how he talk
to him.
So another stat: men are 4 times higher chance of successfully committing suicide. It says while women are more likely to attempt suicide, men are more likely to succeed in committing suicide.
That's because
it works.
I think women just don't have the balls to do it or try to do it right. Where men are like, look, this is it. Like
you find a way to be toxic. You find a fucking way.
Really, like that's finality. Like that's one of the things where men's just like fuck it. Like I watched a video today where like the guy was like in the bedroom with a knife, and the cop was like, put the knife. And he's like, no, just kill me. He was like, no. The guy was like, I don't want to kill you. He was like, just kill me. He was like, I'm not gonna put the knife down until you kill me. He was like, just put the knife down. Women ain't gonna do that. They're gonna be like, man, I don't.
You think that because they think a lot more than we do, and men just
I think they're just their emotion. They base a lot of things off long-term emotion, thinking long-term, where men just thinking about the moment right now. And I guarantee you, if you could survey them per se afterwards, like wherever they go after life, and you were like, hey, would you do that? I guarantee you, most of them would say nope.
Yeah. A lot of people. I'm sorry, go ahead.
They have interviews with people who jumped up the Golden Gate Bridge and survived.
I was going to say that.
Every single one of them is like, soon as feet left bridge, they were like, fall.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's. And I think
yes.
I think that's a good lead in right there to why it's important to find some form of therapy, because you need to. It's okay. You have to learn to be okay with how you feel. Mm-hmm. And doing that manages to make sure that you don't do some whiplash thing because you're extra stressed that one day, because it's true.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say the Golden Gate Bridge. I've seen videos, and that makes sense because that's really fucking high up. I've been on that. I've been on that bridge before, so
it's a long way down for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people who used to jump off like big ass like skyscrapers had the same feeling. Just we can't talk to them because that sudden stop is a motherfucker. But yeah, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question.
Sure.
What do you believe is the highest suicide rate demographic?
You're going to say African American males?
No.
I'll go white male.
I'll go Asians because they got tiny penises.
White males. Want to guess the age range?
25 to
18 to 25.
I would go 25 to 40.
Mm-mm.
Older? Younger?
Yeah. Older.
Older.
50 to 60.
White men age 85 and older are the highest suicide rate by demographic.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me at all. Because you're old, like you get older, you can't do what you're supposed to do. Like there's a good chance that most of your family's dead. Your partner could be dead, and it doesn't make sense, right? Taking your life doesn't make sense, but that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, a lot of older people just do it. Like they'll just go off and just sit somewhere, and
especially if they're sick.
Yeah, they'll just I did what I could do. Yeah, it's 4 times higher. It's 4 times larger than the population of 85 and older white men by alone. So 51 out of every 100,000 white males over the age of 85 commit suicide each year, more than any group by age, sex, or race.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe it because I've had a conversation with my neighbor, and he's 84 right now, and he always says about how he's depressed. He lost his wife like 4 years ago or whatever. He has no family, whatever. And just like John said, that he's just like, but he always told me the reason he won't do it is because he says it's a sin, and he believes in God like hardcore. He prays like 100 times a day, and he's like, I can't do it because it's a sin. But he was like, if it wasn't, if I could, he was like, I would.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They always say it's hard getting old.
Yeah. So, have you guys thought about it?
Absolutely.
Suicide?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference.
Oh, then he was just going to tell you. He's like, there's a dip click. They didn't want us to hear the story. The man upstairs said, nope, he's done.
Yeah, he's like, nah, we're not going to have that conversation.
Whatever secret he's about to give out right now, we're not letting it be seen.
Oh, there you go.
What a bad time for
I got nervous. I'm about to call you. I know.
The man upstairs said, nope, he's checking out right now.
And I think it's an important thing for anybody who watches who knows me. It's not an admission of attempt, but like, I mean, it just happens, right? Like,
yeah. Okay.
I think for a lot for me is so like I always thought that like living in a house where I kept it dark was always like that peace thing for me. And it's one of the things where it's like, come in, don't let the light in. It's easier to sleep. It's easier to do this. It's easier to do that. And then when you come home for so long, for years at a time, and there's nobody to talk to, and like you get off work at 5, you come home. So from like 5 in the afternoon until 9 the next morning, 15, 16, 17 hours of not even using your voice, not talking to nobody, not nothing, in a dark place, it starts to get to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was like probably like a stretch that I had like that, like 6 years of just not speaking to somebody unless I went to work. Like, it was wild. Like, and even when I started going back outside, my voice box wasn't working as strong. Like, I had a very soft voice. Like, it was like it was literally like I was whispering, but I was really, I thought I was talking loud, but I was whispering because I wasn't used to using my voice. So, yeah, depression definitely had a play in that.
Yeah.
And then what's this? 10 years ago now, almost 11. I attempted because I thought I didn't belong here. I didn't think that people loved me. I didn't think people cared about me. Even though I had him on speed dial, I still didn't feel like I can call him because I was that far gone in my mind. Like, no one cared about me, no one loved me. And yeah, it was a rough time. And then even bouncing back from that was a rough period. Like, that's probably like that showed me how strong I was, to be honest with you, that I can bounce back from something like that.
Yeah.
And ever since I've been, talking about it, bringing light to the subject, I did a few suicide awareness walks. I did a couple of fundraisers. I need to get back into that actually because I haven't done that in a couple of years. But
we can talk.
Huh?
I like to do a lot of fundraising work. We can talk.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, that's part of my story. So definitely been through a lot. Definitely had that mom who was military, so it was all man up, be a soldier. We ain't got time for this. And then I got a best friend who, his household is the same as that way, like man up, be strong, So me and him were both just being men, was just being strong, and that shit was eating us up inside, and we didn't even know it, like I acted up in school, he acted up outside of school, you know what I mean? Like, that's all the characteristics and things from.
It's a good example of you never know what somebody's going through, right?
Yeah.
It's why.
So I would, and I don't mean to cut you off, Johnny.
No, you're good, man.
But there's a video on YouTube called the Cleveland Mayo Clinic, and I would recommend that you both watch it tonight. And it says you never know what somebody's going through. So literally, it's a 3 or 4 minute clip where, like, you're walking out of a hospital and you see a mom and a daughter walking in, and a little caption comes up and says they're walking in to say their last goodbyes to a family member. You go to the grocery store and somebody walks by you with their head down, they bump your cart, and it's like this person just found out that they got cancer. And then you're walking outside or you're driving down the street and you see somebody next to you in a car, whatever. Not those same exact scenarios, but it's something like that. It's like you just look at these people walking by you daily and you never know what somebody else has going on. So like you got to kind of check yourself, because somebody comes into the bank and they're yelling at you. You can either yell back or you can be like, man, what do they really have going on that's underlying that's causing this, or road rage, whatever the case might be. So it's a very good point, but I would definitely recommend people. Everywhere I go for a new job, I make my team watch that, because in the customer service world, it's very important, and you got to really know how and when not to react, because you never know what somebody else has going on.
So if I go into your office and just start yelling, they're gonna be calm with me. That you telling me?
My team knows that their job is to be 100% calm with you. It's my job not to be calm. So it's like the movie Roadhouse, when he says, your job's to be calm until I say it's not to be calm. I tell them your job's to be calm. It's my job to be the one to get fired or do whatever to make sure you don't get fired.
So you want to test them out?
Test them out all day long. I guarantee they won't react.
Okay.
But I think, as much as messing with your employees sounds like fun, it's it's an important thing. You know, you always hear people say like, "Be kind" and stuff like that. But it's that's why people say it, right? Like sometimes you think it's just like liberal propaganda, be nice to everybody, but it's true. Like, I make a point to always try to be nice to everybody. I mean, I always try to laugh, and I give everybody a chance. Everybody gets a chance. You know what I mean? Like, because you're right. It's exactly why you don't know. You don't know what somebody's got going on. I can tell you from experience. You know what I mean? Getting big, life-changing news out in the middle of public, like, you know, I was standing in the middle of a protest when my doctor called and told me. It was the day. It was right after Roe versus Wade got repealed, and of course everybody decided to flock outside of a courthouse. So I had all these people staring at me, like me. I'm getting COVID cancer on the phone, and I just smiled, waved, and went on with my day. I
want to tell you, you going through that process, I was so proud of you, because I do not know how I will react to that. And you had me like laughing. Like you did the bright side of it. When people like, yo, look at the bright side. You always was on that bright side. Everything was going. You was like, chemo sucks, but I'm here. It's whatever. Like and I just want to say I'm proud of you for that.
Nobody, thank you. And it's you don't know, right? Yeah. I had no idea. You know what I mean? I was sat there. I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do if this is what it turns out to be. I didn't think it was. Everybody's like, nah, it's not just super low. But it's kind of funny because, like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? And quite frankly, it as funny as it sounds, I mean, I still have a lot of anxieties, like we were talking about before we came on. But honestly, it actually kind of, like, gave me a more positive look on things. You know what I mean? Like, everything looks a little bit different when you go through that. Yeah. So,
even when you like shaved your hair and all that, I was like most people I see that go through that, like it's always like crying videos and everything. Like, and you were like,
I was mad.
Yeah, you were.
I was mad. I was talking because they were like, "Oh, come out right away," and I was fine. And I was talking a lot of trash. Like, see, this is peak engineering, and I was like.
Right.
I was like, oh, damn it. Like, but it's just, the people are a lot more resilient than they think they are. But yeah, I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, positivity.
And you never know what that like one moment of positivity is going to do. Somebody might be having a thought about that Golden Gate Bridge, and then you walk by and be like, "Hey, hope you have a great day today," and they're like,
Yeah.
and then
I
you can
can't
change
tell
your
you
mind.
how many times when I would commute to work, like down to Cat Goose Mouse, and I would like stop and get breakfast or something somewhere, and I had like a really friendly like person in that window, and they were like genuinely nice, and it would give me a good start to the day.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? You don't have to you don't have to do anything other than genuinely just smile. Hey, how are you? Be nice.
Yeah.
Like,
And I've learned that from my job because I work with kids now. So they would tell us like, you don't know, like I'd be like, okay, why this kid coming here looking like, a 45-year-old man? He just looks like he just woke up, he needs coffee. And then, being in the office and you hear the stories of what certain kids go through when they leave here, like school is like a sanctuary for them.
Right.
it's
So
really sad.
yeah. So now I make it a point when I see anybody, I'm like, hey, good morning. Hey, how you doing? Like, even if they don't say it back, just so they know that somebody was like, hey, good morning. It's good. How you doing? Da, da, da. Like, there was one student last year. She would come in. She was in 5th grade. She would come in there every day upset. I literally would just go to her classroom like, good morning. You're going to have a great day. And like literally about halfway through the school year, she started smiling. I don't know if it was because of me.
We're gonna say for the show, for the likes, the thumbsies, upsies on the internet, we're gonna say it was you.
All right.
I'll give you that credit.
I
Bro,
love it.
he said thumbsies, upsies.
So you can't get no whiter than that.
It's the reason anybody does anything right anymore.
Yeah.
Thumbsies, upsies on the internet.
So next week we bring in Johnny back.
Hey, we can if he's
we
free.
got to have him for a more lighter topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure if he brings his thumbsies, upsies with him, then it should be fun.
I have my own names for everything, man. I've got all sorts of good ones.
Okay, so let's put a bow on this one, gentlemen. What's some bit of advice for people who are going through it, or they have somebody that they are going through it with, you need advice for those people?
You're not alone. There's always somebody out there who feels the way you feel. You could feel the worst in the world, but just there's somebody who cares. Even if you tell yourself there's not anybody, there's somebody who cares. And on the other side, check on your friends, man. It takes 30 seconds to send a "how you doing, how you feeling" text message to your friends. Yep. I make a point every Friday to pick somebody I haven't talked to, and I shoot them a message in the morning, see how they're doing.
Yes, you do.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. It's just, it's that simple, man. Like, that's my 2 cents. That's my soapbox.
I definitely get text messages from JC about once or twice a month. Like, hey, what's going on? So that is actual fact. He does that. Best friend.
I think my advice would be if your partner, man, woman, whatever, doesn't support you or appreciate or want to listen to your issues, your health, your whatever, then they're probably not the person for you.
Find a new one. Cut the cord.
Cut them off real quick.
Where were you at like 10 years ago? I didn't call you. That's what it was. I'm sorry. And I would say, I echo both of those sentiments, definitely. And then also, if you have a friend or a loved one that you're close with, that you see is going through it, you don't have to talk their head off. You don't have to take them to the bar. Sometimes just sitting next to them, that does it.
Company goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's been plenty of times where I wish that somebody would just sit there, and just not talk. Like that is so underrated. The fact that you can sit next to somebody and not have a conversation, but still be fulfilled, is so underrated. So sometimes just be next to that person and it's all good.
Yep.
You ready, best friend?
Sure.
All right. It's time for the SAP question of the week.
I feel targeted. I've been set up. I've been hooked.
I can assure you that's always been the thing before you came. But then I was like, man, this is it's weird.
Awkward.
Right. But I think this one kind of ties into some type of, I would say, mental health also. So
Okay.
it's funny because there's times that we have conversations that he doesn't know what my question is going to be or my
I never
topic is,
I never
but
know.
then it tied directly into it. So something like today, when it comes to what our topic was, and then this question came in, I was like, man, this is like the same thing. So somebody wanted to know, what are your boundaries for your relationship and how do you set them?
Ooh.
See? Tell me these things
All right.
don't just come
It's
into
been a
play.
good show. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go this way. Go ahead, JC. You're the guest.
It's just when I hear relationships, I'm not gonna assume romantic relationships because I haven't. I'm gonna think relationships with just other people in general. And honestly, it's for me, it's just honesty. If I don't think you're genuine, you're done. I'm not gonna waste my time with you. I'm the nicest person. I'll bend over backwards for somebody, but like if I can't even trust you to be straight with me about something simple, like I don't got the time.
I like how you turn that into just to generalize the word relationship versus.
Well, because it's
Yeah.
important, right? Like the word relationship is that's a soapbox. We can do that in another episode, but yeah, there's relationships are more than just somebody that you say I love you to and good night to. It's not. It's more than your boyfriend girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Okay. See, that's why he went first. I like that. So in the I guess in the realm of how JC said it, boundaries. I'm known to put a wall up. I've known to not let people in. I'm very. If I don't know you right away, you're not gonna get close to me because I've been hurt a few times. Can't tell it all because I have a crazy best friend who goes look for people. But I've been hurt a few times. But when I get to know you and I learn to say no. That's how I start my boundaries off. Like the ability to say no or I cannot or not this time is how I set the boundaries for a lot of things. Because I'm also, and best friend would tell you, I'm a people pleaser. Like I will go out, I will just do, I don't care if I gotta, like right now, like if we didn't do this show and our friends was like, yo, let's go hang out. And I know I gotta be up at 6 tomorrow. I will go hang out just so they won't be like, he ain't come out. So learning to say I can't do it right now, maybe another time, or no, that's how I set the boundaries.
Good.
Yeah. So I read an article on Lady Gaga recently.
Gaga, I love her.
Oh,
and so she at one point when she started, she was on her first ever tour, and she got a message saying that she was broke. Her accounts are negative, and she's like, "How's that possible? I'm on tour right now. I'm making millions," and she was broke.
Mhm.
So she was saying how like she wanted just like a depression and trying to make that money back because she didn't realize how much it cost to produce these events over what she'd signed for and the money she was taking in, So she said that in order to get out of her depression and her mental health, for it to get better, she had to learn to say no. she had to start telling people because people would just use her and get her. She's just going to do it. Put her here, here, here. She was running herself into the ground, working 8 days a week basically, and doing all this stuff. And then at the end of the day, she was still broke. So she had to it became easy for her to say no to people at that point. So I think that's a good piece to say. You have to do that. You have to set your boundaries, whether it's a relationship, friendship, co-workership, whatever it is. You have to be able to say no in order to help yourself out.
Yep.
It's really important. It's a good skill.
Absolutely. Yeah, he tells me that all the time. I need to start telling people no. And for a while, I told him I couldn't. I'll tell him no to telling people no. And then, yeah, like I would look back at like old videos or old pictures of myself, and I'd look like absolute death. Like I would look like I didn't sleep, and I probably didn't in days. So, and then there'll be days where my body would just conk out on me, and I'll just be asleep for 2 days straight. Because I was in that mentality of, no time like the present. Do it now. So you ain't gotta do it later. And sometimes you gotta pace yourself, and that's the key to life for me. Pace yourself. Sometimes the bill not gonna get paid. It'll be all right. We'll figure it out. If I miss a cookout, I'll have another one. I'll get some ribs some other time. It's fine. So,
yep.
I just can't go to Pasadena all the time. That's all. Not too friendly down there for people like me. But
49ers fans?
Huh?
Said 49ers fans?
Yeah, absolutely. they can't stand 49 fans down there, but yeah. Learn how to say no. Set that boundary. You'll be all right. So
one more quick thing for you, really quick too, because I think it's an important call out. 988 on your cell phone, text message or phone call is the National Suicide Hotline.
Absolutely.
It's 3 numbers, man. If you're ever feeling bad, it's all it can take. And make sure you're here to listen to more me making jokes about testicles on a podcast.
Yeah. And then and also when you call them, it can be very irritating. So you're not gonna want to do anything to yourself but at the time you finish talking to them.
Whatever it takes, man.
Yeah, they're very soft spoken, very non-confrontational on that hotline. So, and that's their job. Their job is to talk to you politely. So, yeah, 988 definitely. So, all right, fellas, this was good.
This was fun.
I like it. Best friend.
You want me to say something?
Did you enjoy yourself? How do you feel about me being the minority for once?
Well, I think that me and Johnny should break off and start our own and just say fuck you.
You say that about every guest we have. You always threaten to leave with the guest, and you always
because I feel like every guest is better than you.
You just say that because Ty was listening to country music. You felt good. So, yeah, man, this was good. I liked it. I liked the conversation. JC, thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
On some lighter stuff, because we have lighter topics we talk about on here.
Yeah, hit me up. I've got nothing to do.
Cool. I love it.
Sounds like next week. Why hit him up? Tell him right now. Next week, 9:30.
Are you gonna be ready next week? JC will be ready, or will you be ready?
What's next week? Anything special?
Exactly. No,
Nope,
you will not. The award
worst case, if I'm not ready, JC's stepping in.
Hey, there you go.
I'm pretty sure next week on Thursday Night Football is Broncos and Chiefs, so we might need to talk about mental health again. But
Wednesday night to prepare for it.
Yeah,
we can be let's look for some pregame therapy.
That would be so amazing. Like every week that you can't make it, I just find another white guy to come on.
You could just put my face over there. So
yeah. Cool, man.
I can find a yellow hat to sit on top of my head and talk trash about Colin Kaepernick. I can do it.
There you go.
This is my application for the job.
That's it. That's all you need to do. You gotta wear a cap and talk about Cap. That's it.
All right.
You go all right. As we always say about this time, you're not a hoe. They're hating because you're having fun, and you're not trash. You're somebody's treasure, and that's word to mundo. And so until next time, we're out.
Hey, just remember that if you ghost somebody in October, it's not rude, it's festive.
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.